Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepare for battle.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of the Slovenly Gamer Podcast. I am your host, Milton, and on this week's show, I am just rambling. I'm rambling about the new Star Wars title, Genesis 4, and anything else that really pops up into my head as I'm talking about this. Now, I'm recording this kind of late, been kind of busy, life kind of things. Generally, I try to have some episodes kind of like in the bucket and in the pocket for you guys. But I actually wasn't going to do this, but I decided I had to because today, the title of the new Star Wars film was released, and it's called Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and it's going to be basically episode 8. Am I hype? Of course I'm fucking hyped. What would you expect? Like, would you expect anything else but hype from me, especially when it comes to Star Wars? So I'm in the office. I'm sitting down. I'm relaxing today. I just see a bunch of, Twitter, everybody just start going crazy. Hey, this new Star Wars title, whatever. Everyone's like tweeting it out. And I'm kind of like, okay, that's cool. So I said to myself, I was just like, I wasn't really feeling like, doing anything today. I just had one of those days. I was really busy with work and just kind of life just kind of taking over everything. But I decided to, when I came back home, to watch episode 7 just again because I have it laying around. I was like, you know what, let me just turn it on to kind of get a feel. And I gotta tell you, it made me really excited to kind of think about the title and then watch the film again, because The Last Jedi, now, obviously we don't know anything about what this film is going to be about. The only thing we know is that that's the title, The Last Jedi. But I have some ideas just kind of based on what I saw today in episode 7. Now, the first thing I thought about, these are the couple things. First thing was, I was just like, okay, obviously, Luke Skywalker, The Last Jedi, but it was kind of it kind of put me on a fence when I thought about it within that context, because I was just like, if they're saying that he's the last Jedi, that means he's probably going to die. So the film opens up as Luke being the last Jedi, and the film basically closes with Rey being the last Jedi. And that kind of scared me a little bit, because I'm like, oh man, after all these years, and I understand, growth, evolution, and kind of basically bringing in a new, a new group of fans, a new populace of fans. But I was kind of like, oh man, I think that might hurt me a little bit to see, to know that there's no more Luke Skywalker, especially given the fact that, Carrie Fisher, aka Princess Leia, unfortunately passed away pretty recently in real life. So it's kind of I don't know, I'm kind of emotionally kind of pulled in different directions regarding that. So that was one. I kind of okay, he's going to be the last Jedi when the film opens up. The film's going to close with him being, close with Rey being the last Jedi. I also, if you wanted to, in terms of references to this in episode 7, everyone kind of in the movie, everyone around him kind of talks within the context of him actually being the last Jedi. Snoke calls him the last Jedi, and I think a couple other people in the film also calls him the last Jedi. You hear it sprinkled here and there throughout the film, these references of him being the last Jedi. So I'm kind of okay, maybe that's what it is, but I kind of feel like he may end up dying, and then Rey kind of takes over at the ending of the film. Also, what I thought it could be in terms of the temple. It could be the temple, two things. Now, it could be the temple being the last, quote unquote, the last Jedi temple, or it could be the name of an unknown Jedi who kind of comes into the mix. Now, when I think about the temple, I think about something very interesting in terms of him being the last Jedi. Now, for some of you who may not know, in the Star Wars lore, if a Sith or a Jedi basically goes back to Sith or Jedi temples and basically hone their energy and hone the Force, their Force energy, they can actually infuse their quote unquote souls, if you want to say, or their Force energy, which would be the proper term, into a particular area. The most notable instance of this would be Naga Sadow, and I think I think it was Eason Gint when he went back to the old Jedi temple. on Yavin 4, and basically Naga Sadow's spirit was still alive within the framework of this temple. So I'm thinking maybe that's kind of like what happens, and like, you know, even if he dies, he doesn't necessarily really die, because he's going to this place to kind of like infuse this place with his force energy. So even in the movie, like if he quote unquote dies, because you know how it is in Star Wars, that we all know that we may see him in different forms, because his spirit force would still be in this, you know, honed in this particular location. Now, again, if you're not a Star Wars fan, if you don't know anything about the expanded universe, you don't know anything about, you know, the Old Republic, that may be news to you, but this is actually a thing. So again, you're going to want to go ahead and Google Naga Sadow, and there's a whole story tied into this. And if you don't know I'm not going to spoil who Naga Sadow is if you don't know, but he was a freaking badass. So you definitely want to Google him. So within the context and the like frameworks, a little things like that, I kind of think about it and think about how cool it would be to kind of like, oh, like, you know, it's like this whole Jedi temple kind of thing. And like, you know, there's so many ways that this can go. I mean, you know, I'm just kind of like going off the top of my head right now. Obviously, it's just a title. No one kind of knows like what the exact film is going to be about, but I'm hoping it could be about any of those things. Or, you know, you guys even tweet at me, tell me what, you know, what your ideas are, like, you know, what you hope it would be or what you think it's going to be. Like, I'm kind of like those are my ideas right now. As literally I just finished watching the movie a couple minutes ago. Those are my ideas. He dies as soon as the movie opens, ends with Rey being, has something to do with the temple, something to do with like actually like Jedi lore, like an actual physical quote unquote person known as the Last Jedi who's like ultra powerful or something, or literally him being the Last Jedi, infusing his force energy into the temple, and Rey could kind of like come to it like whenever she needs as she grows and kind of like becomes a Jedi. Because, and I know people might be like, well, he's alive at the end of the film. We kind of really don't know that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we see him, but I don't think there's enough information there just with that singular 2 second scene to kind of gather all of that information. I know there's going to be a lot of death, and I think like, and if you say like, well, Milton, like, how do you know there's going to be a lot of death in this film? Obviously, if you look at episode 7, I would say like, you know, it's going to be very dark, but I think the title is a denotation of the darkness that we're going to be in store for episode 8, and also and this is something weird, and I know you guys are probably going to be laughing at me like, man, this guy's crazy, but the lettering, that red, very like, you know, spurious, you know, very intense lettering, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh man, this might be really intense. Like this might be really frigging dark. Like I'm not going to be surprised like if we're watching this film and we end up seeing something like really, really, excuse me. Ooh, I'm belching here. Oh, I'm kind of drinking. I'm drinking some tea as I'm doing this. I know I shouldn't be doing that, guys, but I have this horrible cough that's been sticking with me for weeks now. So excuse me. But yeah, I don't even remember where I was now. But yeah, so like I'm excited about all those different things. I think it's gonna be dark. I think that's really exciting and stuff like that. I can't wait to see the trailer. Just wait to see what they have in store for us. I'm just all around excited. Like I was really happy, you know, well, not really happy, but you know, going back, watching it a second time, I was happy with certain aspects of episode 7. I really enjoyed it. You guys know me as a fan, and you know, trying to be more calm and not be so, what's the word I'm looking for? So bougie, I guess, you know, be like Star Wars bougie and kind of like reject people who are like the newer fans and stuff like that. Be like elitist, I think is a proper term I was looking for there. So like I'm enjoying this new set of films. I'm enjoying that they're kind of like going to be bringing in new fans to it. I'm enjoying what they're trying to do with the world. I'm enjoying how they're trying to expand the world and expand the stories in the world. As you guys know, the homie, Grand Pooh Bear and I did an episode talking about Rogue One. We really enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it. We both thought it was a good job. And I must say, like, so far as of right now, I'm super excited. I hope they don't drop the ball in the action. I hope they don't drop the ball on it being a little bit dark. I know that Rogue One was a little bit darker than a lot of people expected, which is an aspect of it I actually really, truly appreciated. I appreciated that people understanding that war is something that's really horrible and people die in war. And I think that, you know, with what we're doing now and the kind of I guess like the new community and the new people that they're trying to bring in, I think they have to do that because kids are very different now than they used to be. So I think that a little bit of darkness actually lends to the depth of the story, like seeing people die and seeing people that you love die and things like that. Like, characters, when I mean seeing people that you love die, it kind of like lends a certain level of seriousness to the story. And to me, like heightens the enjoyment overall of the story. So I'm very, very excited to see what becomes of that. Now, next topic of discussion is Genesis 4. Now, Genesis 4 was this past weekend. I was supposed to go. It's up in NorCal and San Jose. Dude, I gotta say, guys, like I'll watch this thing and that stuff is phenomenal. As you guys know, I interviewed 2GG Bam like a little while back. I learned so much from that, from that episode. I know a lot of you guys learned so much from that episode. You guys tweeted to me, people messaged me. Mostly, usually I get private messages. You guys told me how you really enjoyed the episode. You really enjoyed my approach, kind of like a learning approach to it, because I thought it was very important that I know that, especially in the quote unquote in the Street Fighter section of the FGC, a lot of us tend to shy away and try to, treat Smash like the redheaded stepchild, and then it's like vice versa on the other side as well too. But I think I called it, man. 2017 is going to be the year of Smash and the year of Melee and everything else, because I know you guys like have this like, oh, it's Smash and it's Melee and blah 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 blah. But to everyone else, it's probably just going to be Smash. So, Genesis was sick, man. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys, and you guys know it. I've said this before, and in relation to the hypeness of Smash in general, like, it really hit me last year at Evo, and I gotta tell you, like the hype hasn't faded, it hasn't gone away. Like some of the hypest matches that I've seen that I've really gotten like caught like goosebumps about, and like my blood was really pumping hard, and I was like, oh my god, this is sick. Like it has been over this weekend with Genesis 4. Guys, shout out to 2GGs, shout out to the entire Smash community. You guys did a phenomenal job. It's awesome. Shout out to you in a very special way, because you also, and I know Bam actually told me this, that, they're going to have Street Fighter setups there and things like that. And they had like a relatively large Street Fighter showing. So congratulations, guys. And like really big hand of applause just for opening the community like that, and I think like having Street Fighter players go down and be like in the pits and in the depth and kind of play second string to Smash for once, I think it's really cool, and I think we can learn a lot from each other having those. Like obviously there's like Smash highlighting a tournament, and then Street Fighter and Guilty Gear and every other game kind of like plays second string to it. And I think that's something really dope, and as vice versa. And I think it's really awesome to see the community kind of coming together and doing like super dope things like that. Congratulations, and I also want to say congratulations to the winners, actually. So congratulations to Pinoy, congratulations to, the homie Commander Jesse. I know Azad showed up, a couple other people. I think it was like Apology Man and all these different people. Just the shout outs to everyone who kind of showed up. For me, Hungry Box, I see you. Mango, see you. Leffen, see you. 2GG, I'm gonna ruin. I'm just gonna say Como. I can't remember the other last part of the name, but Bam, tweet at me, because I know you're gonna correct me if you hear this. To how to say the person's name, but shout outs to you guys, the entire community. I think it's really, really dope, and I really enjoyed to see how the community is growing. I really enjoyed to see just the overall joy, man, of the community and everybody coming together and just doing a lot of dope shit. I think it's just an awesome vibe, and I'm really digging it. That's done. Another topic I'm probably going to be rambling on about right now is Street Fighter, and I want to give a very special shout out to Eugene, aka El Trouble, aka Miller Time's boyfriend. I know you're probably gonna laugh and win 20 when he hears that. I want to give a shout out to his lady, Tanya Miller, aka Miller Time, aka Killer Miller, and the homie Sharon and the whole ST crowd. About 2 weeks ago, I went back, and I know I kind of touched on this before, and I just want, for all the new listeners and everybody, I just want to kind of like let you guys like, know what I appreciate, and I just always need to take a moment to kind of like shout certain things out. And I gotta say, like, you guys know I've been having like a very up and down love-hate relationship with Street Fighter 5. And pretty recently, I actually kind of got back into playing Street Fighter, but it's not the one that you would expect. obviously Akuma, and I tell you guys how much I enjoy playing Akuma. He's really fun. Eugene and I, aka El Trouble, kind of like, tweet back and forth about how much, how fun he is, and like it's the only aspect, the only character that we enjoy playing right now. But I want to give a special shout out to that group of people that I mentioned, because they made me fall in love with ST all over again. Like, I haven't played ST in years until I told you guys the story about the first time Tanya made me play in the tournament, and I really enjoyed it. And then I played again a couple weeks ago. They just set up, I think it was like around the holidays, and they just set up like, free setup, no tournament. Everybody just play, have a good time, and like really kind of like fun and relaxed. And I gotta tell you, man, everyone, if you get a chance to come out Wednesday night, if you get a chance anytime that, you go to a tournament and the SoCal ST people are there, and it's the names I just mentioned, El Trouble, Miller Time, and Sharon, you guys have to take part in it. It's absolutely fun. And I think that with all the issues that Street Fighter V is having right now and all the love-hate relationship, I think this is the one game that you can play. And I know the game is like over 20 years old, I think, at this point. But it's the one Street Fighter game that you can play right now that will make you fall in love with Street Fighter all over again. And I don't know if it can sustain and it can translate to the longevity of Street Fighter V. But for me, it does and it doesn't in varying ways. But I gotta tell you, every single time I play ST Super Turbo, I play it online, I play it on emulators, I play it when I go to Wednesday night fights and things like that. The game is so much fun. And I think it is like the one time I literally don't care, and I'm not actually trying to win. I am just having so much fun playing the game and like looking at like just the movement of the characters, how fast they are, like the chip, just like the setup. The game is so completely different that I can't even explain it because I don't want to spoil it. And it's just not something that can be explained. Like, you can't explain the love of ST. It's something that you truly have to experience. And I know I'm actually sounding like, like Miller and Eugene and them right now, but like I truly feel like that. And just like literally, I come home, I've been so busy with work, I have like, do other things. I'll play a little bit of Skyrim, and I actually hop on the emulator and I play some ST, and I'm just kind of like, God, and I literally say to myself, I just laugh and I'm like, man, this game is so much fucking fun, dude. Like, it's just a really, really fun game. I'm excited to see what happens with the new Ultra Street Fighter 2. I know Eugene mentioned this on Twitter. He's talking about, trying to basically be the ambassador of it, bringing it into the FGCS. I think some people at Nintendo or somewhere is actually trying to like, bring it seriously into the community. Anyone on Capcom, Nintendo, wherever, anyone, if you're listening to me, those people that I just mentioned, El Trouble, Miller Time, Sharon, those are the people you want to be running, and you want to head up the Ultra Street Fighter 2 tournaments. I'm telling you, they have a following. People love them. They're doing awesome things in the community. They're an awesome group of people. They're righteous in trust me, they have a lot of fans out here. And if you want anyone to kind of like build a proper community around the game, these are the people I think you guys should definitely, take a gander at, man. They're doing awesome stuff. And trust me, like, look at me, like they made me fall in love with it. And I'll play it, every single chance I get. If I go to Wednesday night fights, I play it. When I'm at home, I play it. Like, if I go to an arcade and I see it, and you guys know that I don't even use a fight stick, I play it just because it's that much fun. And I think that all you guys out there should actually, actively try to seek it out and take part in it, because I really, really think you guys enjoy it. What else? What else can I ramble about? I don't know. I know actually. So a lot of you responded to my Nintendo episode from last week. A lot of people actually dug it. A lot of people dug where I was coming from. A few people didn't, and that's okay. I kind of expected that, with the whole Nintendo thing or whatever. The homie kind of tweeted out to me, the homie Sharif Jackson, and awesome news, folks. He's actually going to be on the show, and we're going to have a discussion about it. So coming in a couple weeks, expect a pretty dope episode featuring Sharif Jackson. He's like the king of Nintendo stuff. Like, this guy has like serious Nintendo knowledge, and we're going to sit down and he's going to educate me and everybody else, and also share his thoughts about Nintendo, because he said, like, listen, I disagree with you completely about everything you said in terms of the Nintendo, and it's it's exciting just given his knowledge and given what he knows about Nintendo. But for me, it still stands. I still feel like, a lot of disposable content, in terms of like systems Nintendo has been creating, but I won't get back into it. If you guys want to know, go back last week's episode 67, I believe it was. I basically rant about it for like about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour or so. And again, let me say this, let me reiterate this, because I don't want anyone to miss this. I love Nintendo. I want to see Nintendo achieve. I want to see Nintendo be successful. I love Nintendo. The first console game that I played when I came to this country in 1989 was Nintendo, and it was the cartridge that had Super Mario Brothers and had Duck Hunt. I also had the Excite Bike and like the Olympic trials thing one, I think, like we had like skeet shooting, track and fields, and all the different kind of stuff like that. So trust me, my love for Nintendo truly runs deep. It's not an ounce of hate in my blood. Like, I love that system, but I just feel that they haven't been doing and living up to their lineage in the past couple of years, and I really want them to, and I know that they can, which is most important. So that's it. I also want to let you guys know that in the coming weeks as well too, in terms of episode, just to kind of give you guys a little spark of what's going on, I got something set up, but I finally got it. I have an episode coming up where I'm going to sit down for an interview with Sherry Jennings. And, Sherry is, you guys have heard me say it before, even before, I got the interview. She's one of my favorite players in Street Fighter. She's been kind of like doing other things pretty recently, but I'm super excited to have her on, have her share her story, and just give a history behind, like, let us all know like who Sherry really is. And I think it's going to be awesome. So for that one, if you guys have any questions you'd like me to ask her, please private message me, and that's at Slovenly Gamer on Twitter. You can private message me. You can also tweet at me at Slovenly Gamer. You can message me, go over to the Slovenly Gamer Facebook page, and you can private message me there as well, in terms of just send me questions, and you can even email me, and that's slovenlygamer1@gmail.com. Email me questions. It's going to be an awesome episode. I'm very excited to do it. There's a lot of exciting things happening, man, and I'm just like, I'm just so grateful that you guys are with me along for the ride. I'm so grateful that you guys have been so positive and so supportive, and just giving me a lot of, critique when it's necessary, and, positive feedback when necessary, but, always communicating with me, letting me know that you guys enjoy the show. And I really appreciate you. Now, I think that is it. Yeah, like, short show, guys. Like, I'm just doing this because, like, Star Wars, man. So I had to talk about it. I had to talk about Star Wars. Really, that's really my main reason for even getting up and deciding to do this right now. Just because I was just like, you know what, I got to talk about it. Super excited. The world's excited right now. We're expecting a lot of awesome things to happen. I hope it does. And on that note, folks, I'm out of here. And remember, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. If you're listening on iTunes, remember to subscribe. I can't even speak right now. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and review. Also, if you're on the Libsyn page, please do the same. Share it, spread the love. Remember, go over to the Slovenly Gamer Facebook page, smash that like button, and tweet at me. Follow me. Instagram, Twitter, at Slovenly Gamer, both places. Come on over, just enjoy the journey with me, folks. Like, let's engage in some conversation. Let's have some fun. I'll probably, the next follow-up interview that I do with the homie Bam, and I'm also, before I forget, and I know I already said my social media stuff, but I just literally just remembered this. I might be able to have Strides from 2GG on. That's going to be dope as well. Same thing. You guys got questions, whatever you need to know about Smash and that whole stuff, hit me up. It's going to be dope. I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to literally spread my wings to the entire FGC community. If you guys have any recommendations of any people from any other, groups within the FGC that you guys would like me to reach out to, you guys would like to hear me do an interview with, please tweet at me and tweet at them at the same time and let them know they should come on the show. Private message me if you want to go that route. Direct, just tweet me only. Whatever you want to do, contact me, let me know, and I'll see what I can do for you. And on that note, folks, I am out of here. Have a good night. And I'm about to go play a little bit of Skyrim, then some ST. Peace.